Chapter 402. Invoking the Heavenly Tribulation. The only scenario was that the mistake that eldest brother made this time was too big. So big that the law enforcement elder couldn't even protect him. Earlier, Elder Celestial Worker said that eldest senior brother died under the immortality calamity. Could it be that eldest senior brother had invoked the immortality calamity to exterminate his enemies? Just that it should be very favorable to the righteous path. So how could it be a mistake? Kang Chia was puzzled in his mind. However, at this time he couldn't care less. After all, Brahma's heart's life was at stake. At that moment, he immediately gathered his mood and said in a cold voice towards Elder Chiagong, "Elder Chiagong, do you think I will believe your one-sided words? I see that you want to take advantage of the opportunity to seize the immortal mansion and benefit yourself." Hearing this, Elder Chiagong almost spat out blood in anger as he said, angrily, "Kid, you're not going to do anything until you've toasted. Do you really think that I wouldn't dare to take action against you?" Before the words fell, a powerful aura shot up into the sky, charging towards the broken dawn immortal mansion. It had to be said that Elder Chiagong was indeed very powerful, amongst the 6 harmonization stage Seal King powerhouses. His strength was second only to the black-robed old man and above the other 4. When the broken dawn immortal mansion was hit by his power, it was immediately recoiled back, getting closer and closer to the center of the 9 heavens illusionary realm. This startled Kang Chia, knowing that further back would be the center of the 9 heavens illusion realm. At that time, once he was swept up in it, he was afraid that he would not be able to survive 9 deaths. The 9 heavens illusory realm was a special territory that was hundreds of thousands of miles in circumference and was completely enveloped by a violent spatial storm. The further to the center of the 9 heavens illusory realm, the more violent the spatial storms encountered. And within the 9 heavens illusory realm, in addition to the terrifying spatial storms, there were also many ancient formations. And once one accidentally bumped into these formations, then even a loose immortal would have a possibility of falling. In addition, even at the edge of the 9 heavens mirage realm, there is also the possibility of encountering a very terrifying spatial storm, although the chances of this are very small. But once encountered, will be swept into the 9 heavens mirage realm by the spatial storm, and then there is only a way to die. Therefore, the 9 heavenly mirage realm was called by the cultivation world as one of the 3 forbidden places in the battlefield of righteousness and evil, and at the same time, it was also the most terrifying forbidden place. As long as one was a normal-minded cultivator, no one would be willing to stay in the 9 heavens illusion realm. However, now, Kang Chia was being pushed step by Elder Chiagong into the 9 heavens illusion realm, and the situation was very critical. "Elder Heavenly Worker, what exactly do you mean?" Kang Chia shouted angrily towards Elder Chiagong while catalyzing the formations within the broken dawn immortal mansion. At this moment, the 10,000 Buddha sect powerhouses and the 1,000 birches of the 100 flower sect were all entangled by the powerhouses of the 10,000 demons hall and the poison sect and were unable to get away. While there was no heavenly worker elder to hold them back, the black-robed elder took advantage of the situation and blasted a blow at Fan Din. Before rushing towards the dawn-breaking immortal mansion without looking back, perhaps in the black-robed elder's mind, a little guy like Fan Din could die with just one blow. This time, he was striking with all his might. Even a normal combined stage Seal King powerhouse wouldn't dare to easily withstand it, let alone a little guy like Fan Din. In the black-robed elder's mind, Fan Din was already undoubtedly the same as a dead person, and for a dead person, he was naturally not interested. Seeing the heavenly worker elder forcing Kang Chia, he immediately rushed over. Of course, the black-robed elder wasn't there to help Kang Chia. He was worried that the heavenly worker elder would enter the broken dawn immortal mansion, And then he wouldn't even be able to get his hands on the immortal mansion, let alone talk about killing Kangxia. The scene was very chaotic. All of these things happened in an instant, starting with Zijin escaping, then the attack on Fan Din, and now it was just a matter of the twinkling of an eye. But the few people present, including Kangxia, were all top-notch powerhouses, and although the time was short, it was enough for them to do many things. Facing Kang Chon's angry shout, Elder Chiagong laughed coldly and grunted, "Kid, I don't have time to talk nonsense with you. Hurry up and let me go in. And the previous things can be written off. Otherwise defy the sovereign's instruction. Even if the law enforcement elder, you can't protect you." Although he couldn't wait for Kangxia to die earlier in his heart, after all, he had already offended Kangxia. Naturally, he didn't want to leave behind such a gifted and powerful enemy. However, thinking of the dreadfulness of the law enforcement elder, he inevitably had some scruples in his heart, and was very certain between his strikes, completely restraining the movement of the Dawnbreaker Immortal Mansion, ensuring that the Immortal Mansion would not be dragged into the center of the Nine Heavens illusionary realm. However, even so, Kangxia was startled as he angrily said, "Old man, you said it was the sovereign's order is all. Who knows if you have any selfishness? The Broken Dawn Immortal Mansion was obtained by me. Even if I have to hand it over to the sect, I will personally hand it over. What does it have to do with you? Kid, you ... Elder Chiagong was furious. Well said ... A loud shout came, but it was the black-robed old man who had already rushed over. And while he attacked towards the Heavenly Worker Elder, he shouted to Kangxia within the Immortal Mansion, "Little friend Kangxia, with your talent qualifications, why should you be stuck in this hypocritical sect of the Heavenly Tao sect? In our Devil sect, as long as a disciple obtains a treasure, the sect will never take it by force. Elder Zhu Luo has already said that, as long as you are willing to worship the Devil sect, his old man can accept you as a personal disciple. And our Devil Tao won't covet your dawn-breaking immortal mansion. What do you think?" The black-robed elder appeared to be very sincere, attacking Elder Chiagong, while making a move to pull back the Broken Dawn Immortal Mansion. This scene caused Kangxia to be dumbfounded. The same Heavenly Tao sect's Heavenly Worker Elder had used all his methods to force him, but instead, it was the Devil sect, an enemy, that helped him. Although he knew that this was the black-robed elder's disassociation plan, he could not help but feel some anger in his heart. Unbridled, Kangxia, you dare to betray the Heavenly Tao sect. There is no place for you in the entire Flood continent. Elder Chiagong looked furious. However, he did not know that these words had completely offended Kangxia. With Elder Chiagong's tone, it was as if Kangxia had already been forced into the Heavenly Tao sect. How could Kangxia not be angry? He couldn't wait to kill Elder Chiagong in his heart. However, Kangxia still restrained himself. Hey, old piece of Heavenly Worker, you're bragging too much. At least my demon sect can keep him safe and sound." The black-robed old man laughed eerily, while continuing to speak loudly to Kangxia. "Little friend Kangxia, I know that you have some scruples, but our demon sect's reputation has a reputation in the Flood continent as well. And this is something that you should be very clear about. Since the 10,000 Buddhist sect could take in our demon sect's traitor in the first place, our demon sect won't be without that bit of temperament. So little friend, feel free to rest assured that by coming to our demon sect, not only will your status not be lowered, but it will also be raised. The traitor of the Devil sect is the Devil Buddha. Kangxia knew about this matter. When the Devil Buddha betrayed the Devil sect and worshipped the 10,000 Buddhist sect, it could be said that it shocked the entire Flood continent. Although some people in the 10,000 Buddhist sect did not agree with Devil Buddha, worshipping the 10,000 Buddhist sect at that time, the 10,000 Buddhist sect's patriarch was able to forcefully disagree and not only accepted Devil Buddha, but also appointed him as the 10,000 Buddhist sect sealed elder. This was the greatest shame of the devil sect. After this, the devil sect also tried to do everything they could to recruit some righteous disciples, especially using some of the devil sect's seductive demonesses, to confuse the righteous disciples and attract them to join the devil sect. They used this method to take revenge. Therefore, Kang Tia knew that the black-robed old man was right. If he joined the devil sect, his status would definitely not be lower or even higher than in the Heavenly Tao sect. However, the Heavenly Tao sect had a few senior brothers in place, as well as the elder of law enforcement Kang Tia would not betray, unless the Heavenly Tao sect forced him to betray pretty much. And with his talent, as long as it wasn't the collective idiots of the Heavenly Tao sect, no one would force him to betray. Therefore, Kang Tia immediately rejected in a deep voice, "Thank you for this senior's love. But once a teacher, always a father. Kang Tia will not betray the law enforcement elder." Hearing Kang Chon's words, Elder Chia Gong's face finally looked much better. On the contrary, the black-robed elder's face was gloomy. Good one day as a teacher and lifetime as a father. Since that's the case, I have no choice but to strangle this genius of yours in the cradle. Saying that, he blasted towards the dawn-breaking immortal mansion. Kang Tia smiled coldly at that. "I'm afraid that's what Elder Cultivator ordered." Humph, without the slightest fear. He catalyzed the formations within the Dawnbreaker immortal mansion and directly met them.